Hi, it's Hope and welcome to the video. I'm gonna first of all apologize for the darkness. My computer is currently trying to turn on and hence why there's no illumination onto me. But this is going to be my 24-hour Mediathon is technically what these reading sprints are called. Hosted by the wonderful Ashley from Ashley's Media Addiction. I'm currently waiting for my computer to turn on so that I can join. And the main thing that I will be doing today is reading City of Bones by Cassandra Clare. I want to read this whole thing in this readathon. It's 480 pages minus the the extras in the back of the sequel, the prequel, the sequel series, and then bonus story. But essentially this we follow Clary, who finds out that she is a shadow hunter, and shadow hunters are humans with angel blood with these abilities. They're able to use these things called runes, which kind of grant them extra things. And we also have these things called downworlders, which consist of vampires, werewolves, warlocks, Seelie and Unseelie. And it's just, this first book at least is Clary discovering she's a shadow hunter, and kind of the start of a plot to do with her father, and her mother ends up in a magical coma. So yeah, this will be my third time reading this. So it should be a quick read, because I'll also be able to some parts that I don't like as much skim through it. So yeah, this is what I'm reading. I'll probably update every so often on how the reading's going and how I'm feeling energy-wise. I woke up at 8 o'clock this morning, so 2 hours after the readathon started, because it started at 6 a.m. for me, and it goes till 6 a.m. on Sunday. So I slept in. I was gonna originally wake up at 5:30 in the morning to join at 6, but then the rational part of me was like, okay, sleep in a little bit, a couple hours, then you'll be able to join for most of the morning, some of the afternoon, maybe leave for an hour or two mid-afternoon, come back in the evening, and then stay up until the 6 a.m. I know I at least want to be there from for Ashley's time, her midnight through 5, 6 a.m., the hard hours that will be maybe hard for her to stay awake alone. I want to be there. Also, I read a lot in the evening, not in the morning, so might be a slow start in the morning here, especially because I'm still trying to finish my coffee. But yeah, I will see you in a few hours. Okay, so we're in the middle of the first sprint, and I've already read 30 pages of this. It's going by really fast. Ashley did a funny little goof that I want to talk about because it made me freaking cackle. She was having audio issues, so she was like, okay, I'll just leave the sprint and then pop back in. She ended the sprint. That is totally something I would do, and I found hilarious. Also, I'm gonna have just a little bit of a freak out moment. It's because currently Casey from Books and Bops is on the sprints, and I'm honestly I get to share sprints with you, oh my gosh. It's a weird thing of there's people that you watch and all of that, you watch them on social media, you interact with them on Discord, but it's different actually talking to them directly, and you get what I'm saying? That honestly is I'm trying not to fangirl on the stream, so I'm gonna fangirl to my vlog. But it's currently 11:13, and I jumped on sprints about 10 o'clock, maybe 10:30. I'm not entirely sure. I can't remember. But I genuinely do think that, because that's in the first 20 minutes alone. I do think that I should be able to get this done in these sprints. So yeah, also apparently there's going to be a movie night, which, depending on the movie, I might watch it, I might not. Who the hell knows, really? But I'm going to go grab a drink, because I have like this much water left and it's from last night. So, grab a drink, keep on reading, and just have some fun. I'll probably update in a few hours. Okay, so it is 2:30 and I just hopped off the sprints because I am like getting a little bit tired. I want to make food and I want to maybe do some of my schoolwork because like if you haven't seen my other vlogs, you would know that I am like literally like a month behind on my schoolwork. So I have like 2 months worth of schoolwork to do in like, well, it's all due the 24th. So you do the math on how many days. So I'm a little stressed about that. But I might do that, I might not, I don't know. I made it to page 200 of City of Bones. And again, this is a reread for me, 3rd time read through. So I am just kind of like cruising through it type thing. Like that's not saying it in a bad way. I still love this book so much. It's one of the books that like got me into reading. I watched the show, then I picked up the books, and then from there, reading just commenced. So this will always be like a core book in my reading, as it was like what set it off, kind of. Like, not immediately, but like it was one of the first few books that I actively picked up for enjoyment instead of like, oh, for like school and like, but I'm going to do what I said, and then I will probably pop back on the stream, read more of this or something else, or I might just read a little bit of this on my own time. But again, I'm enjoying it. I love these characters so much. Like, I will say, like, a lot of people say, like, Clary is annoying in this first book, and I'm now starting to see it. I still think my rating will be a 4.5 like it was the second time I read it. The first time I read it was 5 stars. The second time I read it was 4.5 stars. I do think it's still that 4.5 stars because this just sets off a world of books that are my absolute favorite. I mean, that entire shelf there and like half of that shelf there are all Cassandra Clare books. Cassandra Clare is my favorite author. I'm going to shut up about this book because I'm probably going to talk about it a lot more in this vlog. And I will see you in a little bit. Okay, so it is 10 p.m. and I am on page 333, or that if you want any sort of comparison. I'm definitely going to get this finished as I have 152 pages, so that will probably be about 3 or 4 sprints, maybe. So will you? I was gonna say, will you fucking shut up and look at Discord? I was looking at Discord on my phone. I can't right now, because Discord just went off in my ear. Again, I'm still enjoying this. I haven't forgotten anything per se, but it's like, it's almost weird reading it. Like, I've already talked about how this is like a core book for me, so anytime I go back to read it, anytime I've reread it, this is the second time rereading it, 3rd time in total, but it's weird going back and reading it after almost like so long since the last time I read it, because the last time I read it was April 2020. So it's been well over a year and a half since I read this book. And then it's weird because like I remember everything. I don't know how to explain what I'm feeling, so I'm just gonna shut up. I'm going to run and make food. So I'm gonna put in some potato wedges probably. Yeah, that's probably what I'm gonna make right now. And then like read while that's cooking, and then eat that, and then like go on from there. Also fill up my drink because it's been empty for the last like sprint and I'm thirsty. So I also switched my laundry over, which is the most productive thing I've done all day besides read, because I didn't end up doing any schoolwork, and I blame that I wanted this day to be for me. We'll worry about that shit later. Okay, so it is 12:48, and if I seem like I'm low on energy, I am, because normally at this time I have crawled into bed and I'm trying to fall asleep. But I'm still live. I've been live for the last 6 hours, maybe, give or take. And I currently, at this exact moment, there are 9 minutes left. 9 minutes left of this sprint, and I am on page 448. So I have 40 pages left in this. Don't get me wrong. I'm excited to be reading this. I'm excited to be near the end. I'm still kind of questioning how the fuck I got all this read today. That is its own. I swear, today I'm gonna look back on, it's gonna be like a fever dream of I read this thing in one day. But also, one thing that is super fun about this read is I've finally met a fellow Canadian booktuber, Covers with Cassidy. Had no idea she just existed till now, and she only lives 10-ish hours from me, which most of the Canadian booktubers that their names I recognize type thing live 24 hours from me. So somebody that's actually a province away is a very big shock. I might read more of this in this sprint, and then one more sprint. Put it this way, I'm gonna finish this book and then we'll go from there, because part of me wants to start an e-arc that I have and continue, but we'll have to see what I'm like, because again, it's almost 1 a.m. It's 1:47. Sorry, 1:48. Book is finished. It is getting a 4.5 because I love these characters so much. I love this because, again, pretty much it's all I said earlier is how this starts up this massive world that I love, and all of that. It's just is it a perfect first book? Absolutely not. But will it always hold a place in my heart? Yes. So yeah. And currently, it's just me and Ashley. I said to myself, no matter how tired I am, I refuse to leave Ashley alone on these sprints. So I might be sticking around until 6 a.m. when this is all over. And there was a thing that I commented, that thing is a quote from my book that sums up right now: sleep. Who needs sleep? Because I can't remember the last time that I wasn't asleep by 2 a.m. and didn't have plans. There was some times where it's oh yeah, it's 2 a.m. and I'm just falling asleep because, well, I've been tossing and turning for an hour. I have a feeling I'm gonna hit that pillow, boom, or I'm gonna lay there and be like, today was so fun, yada 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 yada. I think I am gonna start a new book. Originally, I was tied between Daughter of Smoke and Bone by Lonnie Taylor and The Temperature of You and Me by Brian Zepka, and the logical thing is to read the arc, which is The Temperature of Me and You by Brian Zepka, and essentially we follow, I can't remember the character's name, and essentially in that it is we have Dylan, is it maybe? I feel like that's maybe his name. I'm gonna quickly Google, Goodreads it. Yeah, so we followed Dylan. I did remember that. I couldn't remember if Dylan was the main character's name or the love interest's name. That's why I was I have to check. But essentially we followed Dylan, who lives in this small town, and kind of all he wants to do is find a boyfriend. And when Jordan, I believe that's the name, enters his life, things start to go a little bit weird, to the point that Dylan ends up breathing fire. And we go from there. That's literally basically the description, and I'm one question. Did you say breathe fire? Literally, I'm pulling up the Goodreads thing. And it's like when the two boys start spending time together, Dylan begins to feel odd kind of ways, and when he spikes a fever for 2 weeks and suddenly coughing flames. Oh yeah, and Jordan has run at a run, and also with Jordan, his body heat is excessively hot at 110 degrees Fahrenheit, which is, just for reference, a fever is considered like 99 degrees Fahrenheit, I believe. So like, yeah. And this book comes out January 25th, and I have an arc of it. So I will probably start that. It's queer. It's like a contemporary with maybe a little bit of magical realism in there, because like you can't just say breathing fire and not have it have any sort of like magic or maybe like sci-fi twist maybe. I have no idea. That's what I'm going to start in the next sprint, and I honestly probably won't update unless something big happens with the book or it hits 6 a.m. and I'm ending the vlog. So yeah, I did it. I lasted till 6 a.m. It's 6:07 to be exact. I honestly, like, okay, first of all, the temperature of me and you, we'll say that before we get into the other things because I will forget, is I made it to 51%, meaning I read over half the book, and does that describe how I feel? What I said on the live was, I don't remember, even though I just said it like 10 minutes ago, is like, I'm enjoying it, but I haven't really connected with the characters. But is that because I'm tired? I don't really like the plot, but is that because I'm tired? Like, the plot is literally, we have, as I mentioned before, we have Jordan who has like the extreme heat, and then somehow it transfers to Dylan, and I'm like, okay, first of all, I understand how Jordan got the thing, but I honestly don't understand how he's alive. Like, yes, there's something that was mentioned, but I'm like, but in reality, it would be a whole different thing. And then I do not understand how it got transferred. That's what's like really like making me like, you didn't explain that. And then also just the characters, like, I kind of like Dylan, but mainly because of the fact that, like, see, I don't even know, like, I don't know, I think it's just, like, his personality is, like, the type of person I'd like to be friends with. Maybe that's why I like him. My cat wants him, but I'm literally too tired to open the door right now. That's how tired I am. Like, the door is literally, like, 3 feet away from me. I can't reach the door handle from here. But, like, I don't really like any of the other characters. Like, I will say there's, like, a couple of funny lines here and there sprinkled through that kind of make you, like, giggle a little bit. But, like, is it worth those few giggles? Is it worth a character that you kind of like? And then, like, don't, like, I don't know, like, don't get me wrong, I really like Dylan and Jordan's, like, friendship that they're forming, but I'm like, do I need it? So I will probably today, like, later today, which I'll see in my proper weekly vlog, which I will start right after I finish this, you'll see kind of what I end up doing. I'm like 50-50, like, continuing DNFing. But I'll read more in that when I'm actually coherent to process it. I might go back like 5 chapters maybe, or like 10%. I don't really know how far back go back a little bit, read on from there, read up to the point I'm at, and then maybe like couple chapters ahead, and like go from there on, like, my thoughts. So yeah, this was like such a wild and fun thing. Me and Ashley for the last like 6-ish hours maybe, I could be like a little bit wrong, time is but a concept, like 5 hours at least, maybe like closer to 5 hours. because I feel like Cassidy left around 12:30, quarter to 1. So like the last like 5 hours, it was just the two of us, which was so fun. Like, I will say that, like, Ashley is, I think, one of my, like, favorite people that I have interacted with online, like, just, like, ever. Like, the way that, like, our, like, friendship started was, like, I randomly don't even remember how I stumbled across her tweet of, like, she was, like, back in August, like, hey, does anyone want to help co-host sprints? And I randomly DM'd her. I was like, I know we've never interacted before, but I'd love to do it. And then now we're here that we've literally spent the last 10 hours. And we have a little kitty showing up. But we've spent the last 10 hours on sprints together. And I've spent 14 out of the last 24 hours with her on lives. Obviously with various people. There was like multiple people that I have interacted with before. Like I've mentioned Casey, technically interacted with Katie, who I've been on her sprints once before, and was on a sprint with her with Ashley. Who else? Gemma. Who else? I feel like I'm if I'm forgetting anybody, somebody who I haven't interacted with before, but like now definitely want to like check her out a little bit more. Sam. I will leave anybody that I mentioned in the description. Like obviously Ashley will be at the top. If I am forgetting anybody, I am so sorry. I am like trying to think my hardest, but I'm like, Cassidy, who I mentioned earlier, who is somebody that I've never met and is a fellow Canadian. Again, I've mentioned her, but like, still, hi baby. You wanna say bye bye to the vlog? Oh, you wanna eat my hand? Well, we'll just say bye. Because I am exhausted and I just want to crawl into bed, which is what I will do. So, I really hope you enjoyed this video. I know it's super duper long, but I really hope you enjoyed this video, and bye.